Hello. And welcome to, oh my gosh, what week are we on? We're on week 5. I should know that, right? I've been doing my videos for week 5. I don't know how I forgot. This week in week 5, well, let me ask you how you were doing. How was week 1 through 4? We kind of at midterm, but we still have 6 weeks ahead of us. But how are we doing? You know, we're there. We're in February now. How'd you make it through January? Too cold for you? Too cold for me, that's for sure. But we are working, we're working on chapters 9 and 10 this week. 9 is developing corporate level strategy options. Okay, so we're at the corporate level. So we're going to define and explain the 2 main elements of a corporate level strategy. We're going to outline the benefits and costs. We have to know, is the benefit going to warrant the cost? What is our ROI? Identify the levels of diversification in corporate strategy and their implementation. Describe the role of corporate headquarters and identify the implications of strategy development, and to use a portfolio matrix. Are you familiar with that? You might have seen that in a business class in your undergrad. And outline the main corporate level strategy tools available to corporate headquarters. So we're going to be looking at, again, we're up at the corporate level. So we're going to be looking at benefits, again, at the corporate level, looking at the benefits and the cost of diversifying. What if we decide we want to do a diversification? Okay, we think this is the way we need to go, so we're going to do a diversified portfolio. We're going to decide these are the benefits, but this is what it's going to cost us to diversify. And so we're going to have some different areas at the corporate level looking into this to decide, again, what are the benefits, but what are the costs? And hopefully we're at higher than a break-even point and we're making some profit on this. Our ROI is beneficial and we are able to go ahead with this. Or if not, that's where we stop. Right then, we're not going to invest in this. It's just not going to work. But if we want to diversify, what are some of the diversification topics we should be talking about? And they're listed here. The degree of diversification. And we're going to be looking at the close-related diversification, the distant-related diversification, and the unrelated diversification, which obviously is a hard word for me today. We're going to be looking at, again, corporate headquarter characteristics, determinants of the size and role of our corporate headquarters, the main activities undertaken by our corporate headquarters. So we're going to be looking at HQ. We're looking at HQ. Again, a lot of with the diversification. Are you familiar with the BCG, the Boston Consulting Group Matrix? We're going to be talking about that, where we have our cash cows, our dogs, our stars, and our problem children. That I know I teach in an undergrad class. So if you were in an undergrad class with me, you would have had it with me, but wherever you got your undergrad from, you should have talked about your BCG, the Boston Consulting Group Matrix. That's in a lot of books. So you're going to decide, is there high market growth? Is there, what's the market share? Putting those two on the, you'll see the grid in the book, but when you see it, you'll be like, I remember that. What should our product portfolio look like? So you're going to be going over a lot of those things in this particular chapter. So you're going to be developing the corporate level strategy options. Please make sure you're going through the whole chapter. There's some very valuable stuff in the latter part of the book, which sometimes you might get back there and you'll be like, okay, that kind of looks like the end of the book, the chapter to me, but make sure you're going through the whole chapter. Taking notes, there's a nice summary back there. Further readings. Further readings is a really great place that you can go to for the discussion questions, for your writing assignments. Also, don't forget the materials and resources section, or I think I just titled it now, extra resources, something like that, but it's still there. It's just a little different. But everything is still there for you. And then we're going to be going into chapter 10, strategy, evaluation, and development. Okay, we're evaluating that strategy, and now we're going to start to develop it. It's called the prescriptive process. We're going to distinguish between the content and the process of the prescriptive approach. Identify 6 main criteria that might typically be used to evaluate the content of our options. Outline the main prescriptive procedures and techniques used in selecting between strategic options. Describe main elements of the classic prescriptive process for developing strategic management, and comment on the weaknesses of the classic process and suggest how these might be overcome. Again, some really great items in here. Like I said, it's going to go over the 6 criteria to evaluate, and they're all listed pretty early in the textbook. So you're going to be going over them, learning what they are, how to work with them, how to analyze them, how to develop them. And as you go through the chapter, you're going to be strategy, evaluation, procedures, and techniques. There are also going to be criteria for not-for-profit organizations. That's not something we talk about too much in here, but this chapter is going to touch on non-for-profit. And then taking the first steps, doing evaluation techniques, a financial look at it. Shareholder added value. We're going to be talking about that, the added value to the shareholder. Cost-benefit analysis. Some of you might be in the financial field already, and some of these things are going to be like second nature to you, but for some of them they aren't, so you may have to dig a little deeper into them. Profitability and 3 key strategic issues. Evaluation of the life cycle portfolio matrix. So we're going to be talking about life cycles and such. Capital investment, mergers and acquisitions. Have you ever been involved in a merger and acquisition? I was involved in a merger a lifetime ago, and I wasn't involved in the financial aspect of it, but my organization went through a very large merger, and it was definitely something, if you haven't experienced, might be a good thing. Ours was not necessarily done the best way. Maybe they should have looked at this book to do it a little bit better. But you're talking about mergers and acquisitions. Again, as you start to, here's a little bit more. I was thinking we were at the back of the book because of the way it was starting to look, but no, we have more here. The prescriptive process of strategic management. So again, when you're going through here, make sure you're actually at the back of the book, the back of the chapter. You'll get to the summary of it. And then there is some portfolio analysis math in the back, if you will, that you might want to take a look at. And again, there's further readings. So if you need them for your writing assignments, this might be a good place to go. Or for your discussion boards. As always, I love our intermingling and our discussions that we have going on. And I really appreciate those who have been completing the surveys. Please continue to do that. I take notes on that. If I don't necessarily reply to you about them or to the group about them, I do take notes on what suggestions are that I can possibly implement in the future, whether that be next week or in a future class, depending on what you're telling me about a particular topic maybe. As always, what are you taking from weeks 1 through 4 and moving into week 5 academically, professionally, or personally? If you ever want to reach out and let me know, hey, I learned this last week and this is really helping me at work, or I learned this last week and I'm able to use this in my personal life, or hey, that technique last week is really working academically for me. Whatever, please feel free to reach out and let me know. And I will be seeing you in the discussions, and I hope you are having a fantastic term. Again, we are finally in February, so hopefully some warm weather is going to be coming soon. I hope. But anyway, have a fantastic week 5, and let me know what I can do to help you.